Hi guys, how you doing? Right. What it is, right, is we're on 2.1 now. Summarise the differences between communicable and non-communicable diseases with 2 examples of each. So, communicable diseases are diseases that can pass from one person to the other or another, like COVID-19. Non-communicable diseases are things like diabetes. They kind of develop in a person over time. Even Down syndrome, like from an extra chromosome, is something that's Down syndrome in the person. It's not contagious. Yeah. Communicable diseases are also known as infectious diseases. Non-communicable diseases are referred to as chronic, which means that they take a long time to, develop with the person until eventually it becomes full blown. Yeah, where a communicable disease like malaria, straight away, yeah, there's an effect. It's more acute and develops quickly, like COVID-19. Communicable diseases generally involves the lower socio-economic group. I'm not sure the reasons why or the factors, but I'll hazard a guess at the environment. It's probably more polluting. Their probably work conditions and living conditions are probably worse. They're probably less protected. They probably can't afford healthcare when they need it, private healthcare. They probably have a long waiting list, and this can only add to diseases infecting them. They probably are just in a position where they just can't get the help, and they're subjected to, I don't know, government nuclear power stations like nearby and stuff. Non-communicable diseases, they tend to be chronic, which is what I just mentioned. It's an ongoing thing, like lung cancer, which means that they last quite a long time and then they progress quite slowly. Like most people who get lung cancer, normally in their 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even 90s, yeah? Communicable diseases normally have a vehicle of transmission, or a vector as they call it, in the spread of the disease. So something like malaria, or even the bubonic plague, you've got fleas on the back of rats, that are just infected and bit into the blood of their victims and spread the virus from there. Normally non-communicable diseases can be enticed, can be induced through like bad diet, high cholesterol, and give you
coronary artery problems, environment like pollution, like you might live in a city where there's a lot of factories getting out a lot of waste, a lot of diesel fuels that are burning like
nearby. And lifestyle plays a big role as well. Like if you do
less exercise, you're going to be more obese, and if you're more obese, you're going to have more fat, and there might be a potential for type 2 diabetes. Yeah, where the insulin, there's insulin, but the cell won't let the sugar into the cell anymore. The cell won't let the glucose into the cell anymore, even though there's insulin. This could develop with the wrong lifestyle because you might have just too much fat.
So a good example of communicable disease, I'll give you 2 examples then. Common cold, like influenza. Pneumonia as well, I caught that a few years back. It was dreadful. Not the best experience in the world. Non-communicable diseases, diabetes, type 1 and type 2. And scurvy is a good one. Scurvy, Captain Cook and his lemon cured that one. Yeah, that's a deficiency in the vitamin C, I think it is. So just to round off, that's that. Thank you very much. Okay guys, 2.2 explains some biological causes of non-communicable diseases. There was a study, a link between radiation and type 1 diabetes. Type 1 diabetes is when there's no or hardly any insulin production or of the hormone. So you can imagine that the key is the insulin, the cell is a garage, and glucose is a car, yeah, which is the simplest complex of carbohydrate. And your key is just hasn't been produced, so the car stays in the bloodstream. Okay, or glucose. Okay, it's the best analogy that I can think of. So there's been a lot of evidence of a link between radiation and type 1 diabetes, which is obviously the cause is the beta cells in the pancreas are just basically stopped from producing insulin because of a haywire autoimmune system. Okay, so there was a study in Chernobyl, of all places, in 1986, where Montanussi et al. In 2002 found that there was a very high increase of diabetes type 1 in the surrounding areas. This was supported by Nanosklava et al. In 2004, who found that in the local Gomel region, that indeed the type 1 diabetes had increased compared to Minsk, which was further away, and but it was contradicted though by a Polish research audit in 2004 by Badanska and Stankiewicz et al., who didn't find any increase at all. But Poland is miles away, isn't it? I don't know if we Missouri at all, 2018, they found that when they did large exposure to rats, that the rats developed high blood glucose levels, oxidative stress, and impaired insulin secretion result of being exposed to the radiation. Type 1 diabetes induced. Okay, moving on to type 2 diabetes. If we go back to that analogy with the key, the garage, and the car, in type 2 diabetes, everything, all the components are there, but the key doesn't seem to be working on the garage. Just a rusty key or a rusty garage, I don't know. Okay, but what we'll call that is when the cell is being resistant to the key or the insulin, okay? So Ho 1994, he did research on the survivors of the atomic bomb in Hiroshima, and he found that there was increased levels of type 2 diabetes in the decades that followed to the radiation exposure, probably, correlation. Zaver et al. 2001 supports that, with Chernobyl workers getting very high insulin levels in the blood, which is precursor to type 2 diabetes. There was a study by Kaminsky et al. In 2015, similar results where diabetes was found in survivors of Chernobyl. Also, Nylander et al. 2016, he did a mouse study which suggested that epigenetics was responsible, where the wrong genes are being expressed at the wrong time, where genes that were supposed to be switched on were switched off, and so on. He was sort of looking at cancer treatments and found there was a development in insulin resistance and type 2 diabetes later in life. I'm going to leave that bit out. I don't see the point of doing that. Alright, just cracking on to number 5. Neroni and Annunziata in 2005, they found that children who were exposed to cancer developed insulin resistance, which is what I just told you, that the lock wouldn't work on the garage. You had a monkey test here where monkeys after 5 to 9 years developed type 2 diabetes after doses of radiation compared to monkeys that weren't exposed. And also they had higher insulin resistance, but also lower body fat levels as well. So there was the key wasn't working. The cells in the body weren't allowing glucose into their garage, as it were. That's Kavanagh et al. 2015. And also the last thing I want to mention is the 1946 to 1958 nuclear weapons testing in Oceania. Simon et al. Did an audit on that in 2010, and they found that Oceania has the biggest fasting blood glucose levels in the world. And this was recorded between 1980 and 2008 by Daniel et al. In 2011. They found that. And this proved that there was a definite correlation between acute and chronic radiation fallout, and because of the weapons testing of the time, and people's condition. Most people had very high glucose levels in their blood and had very low fat in their bodies, which is interesting. Anyway, that's that.